Could a big unfortunate twist be coming in the direction of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? We'll see what fans are talking about there. We'll also check out what's going on with AJ Lee, Dominik Mysterio, and more. Let's start things off with this report on Dominik Mysterio's status. We've been discussing Dominik a lot in recent weeks because his ongoing storyline with his father, Rey Mysterio, has been one of the most amazing storylines going on in WWE right now. Dominik's heel transition has been amazing. The Judgment has really been picking up momentum, and just all parts of the story have been flowing pretty nicely for Rey, Dom, and everyone else involved. But according to a new report, plans were looking extremely different for Dominik Mysterio. Reports claim that before his feud and storyline with Rey Mysterio picked back up, WWE was allegedly preparing Dominik Mysterio to get sent down to NXT and for him to remain there for a while. For all those who might have forgotten, Dominik Mysterio is pretty much the only young superstar who completely skipped over WWE's development program and usual routine. No matter if you're coming from the indies, you have no experience at all, or even if you come from a wrestling family, the routine is always the same. You start at the Performance Center, work your way up through NXT, build your character and reputation up, and then eventually get called over to the main roster. Again, even for someone like Charlotte Flair, look at who her father is. It still didn't change a single thing. She still had to go through the usual WWE system and work her way up. But the only real exception to this usual rule and routine for WWE has been Dominik Mysterio. Dominik started making regular WWE appearances in 2019, got placed into a big program with Seth Rollins in 2020, and had his first WWE match at SummerSlam 2020. Dominik had no prior experience and didn't go through NXT at all. He just came directly to the main roster, started teaming up with his father, and even won the tag team titles with his father, and has been on the main roster ever since. So Dominik is truly the only young star who didn't have to go through NXT at all. And it looks like WWE was going to fix this by sending him down to NXT right before the feud with his father started. But what made WWE change their mind about reportedly sending Dominik to NXT? The answer is quite simple. Dominik Mysterio absolutely caught fire with both his character and his feud with his father. That Thanksgiving Day attack that Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio did on Rey Mysterio received a lot of great feedback from the fans, and they just kept building and building on it until it became the hottest ongoing story in WWE. So, due to how Dominik just found his way and struck fire with what he was doing, it looks like that played a big role in why his move to NXT was scrapped and why he's staying on the main roster. We'll have to see what else could be ahead for Dominik Mysterio in his extremely young and promising career in WWE. Cora Jade recently made headlines for her promo from a recent edition of NXT. It's no secret that two of Cora's biggest favorite superstars growing up were CM Punk and AJ Lee. So fans were quick to notice that Cora threw in some CM Punk and AJ Lee references into her time on the mic in NXT. Cora Jade asked if she had everybody's attention now, a line that CM Punk used in 2011 during his major storyline with John Cena and Vince McMahon. Cora also said that she is the hero of this story, which is another callback to what AJ Lee said during her days of feuding with Paige in 2014. So fans thought it was a nice little nod for a young current WWE superstar to show some love and appreciation to her favorite superstars that she used to watch. Speaking of CM Punk and AJ Lee, there's actually a lot going on with them. There's currently a lot of conflicting reports about CM Punk returning to AEW. After the backstage fight and incident in AEW, everyone was uncertain if CM Punk would ever be seen again inside an AEW ring. But the latest reports appear to be hinting at the idea that it's definitely a possibility. The rumor right now is that CM Punk and AEW are allegedly in talks about seeing him return to the company, and the reports are listing summer 2023 as a possible time frame for CM Punk's AEW return. But no one knows just how serious the return plans are and if it'll actually happen or not, but that's just what's floating around the news right now. AJ also has some big things going on for her. AJ Lee recently joined the cast of a road trip comedy film named Sacramento, which stars Kristen Stewart and Michael Cera. According to Deadline, AJ will play an ex-professional fighter who helps out one of the main characters in the film. So big things are still taking place for AJ and CM Punk, and we'll have to see what else goes down for them in their careers. Let's get into some discussion and worry that fans are having regarding Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the undisputed tag team titles. WWE's upcoming May event in Saudi Arabia was previously just being advertised as the King of the Ring tournament, but the event has now been renamed to Night of Champions. It may be a new name for the event, but it's not a new premium live event name at all. Night of Champions used to be a yearly premium live event that had the main theme of having every single WWE title defended at that event. So assuming the 2023 version of Night of Champions follows that same formula as the old ones, it does have fans asking some serious questions. If every title will be defended in May at Saudi Arabia's Night of Champions event, that means that the undisputed tag team titles must be defended at Night of Champions. The only issue here is that obviously Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens don't take part in WWE's Saudi Arabia shows. So that fact has fans panicking and wondering about how WWE will handle this situation, knowing that their current tag team champions won't be able to defend the titles at the event. And there's only two ways to really handle this situation. They can either pretend that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will be at the event, schedule a matchup, and play it off. But on the Smackdown night right before Night of Champions, you have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens get so brutally attacked that they can't make the trip, and the tag team title match gets cancelled at the last second. Or the other possible route is WWE even dethroning Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the tag team titles, so that someone else could defend the titles at the event. There's a tag team title rematch taking place soon between the Usos and Sami and Kevin on Smackdown, and fans are seriously wondering if the titles could go back to the Usos for Night of Champions. Is that something WWE would do? Would they end Sami and Kevin's title reign extremely early due to this Night of Champions event? Or will they find a way to work around it to keep the titles on them? That's the fan conversation that's going on right now with that situation. So it's a real life fact that Sami and Kevin don't make these trips for these shows. And usually it's not that big of a deal because WWE will quietly just have Sami and Kevin stay home during those events. But the fact that Sami and Kevin are now holding championship gold, and the fact that the event is Night of Champions, it just has fans extremely nervous and curious to see how WWE handles this situation within the storyline world. Not to mention that whatever happens here with this situation will also play a big role in the Bloodline story. If the Usos do get the titles back from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, does that cool down the tension there within the Bloodline? It's definitely a tricky situation, and it'll be interesting to see how WWE works around it. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.